Find out your parents were cheating on each other. It was on a date with my high school crush. I had a lot of freedom in high school. I was the youngest of 5 siblings. By the time I was a senior, my parents had basically given up on trying to be strict. I had earned their trust by generally staying out of trouble, and doing my best to not make their lives any harder than they already were. They rewarded me by rarely getting on my case about where I was going, or who I was hanging out with. They were just counting down the days until they could enjoy their new life as empty nesters. Because I didn't necessarily have to tell my parents anything, I often didn't. That was the case this particular evening. I had been going out with a girl named Chloe for a couple months. We hadn't done anything Jesus wouldn't approve of in that time. It wasn't because we were super religious or anything like that. We just never had the time nor the space to ensure privacy. She was the oldest child in her family, so her parents were like the opposite of mine. I didn't want to bring her over because getting caught would undo all of the trust points I had built up. But the physical tension between us was reaching a breaking point. We agreed that something had to be done. There was a movie theater called Barney's on the edge of our town. Barney's was notorious for providing solutions to problems like ours. Kids would buy tickets for obscure movies just to have a dark room to themselves for 2 hours. That was our plan. My brother let me borrow his car for the date. I picked Chloe up at her place and we were off to the Barney's. We got tickets for an old silent film no one was going to see except the really old timers. But we figured it was past their bedtime anyway. When we got into the theater, it looked like we would have it all to ourselves. We sat in a middle row in front of the railing because it had the most space. We pressed all the way to the side so that anyone that walked in wouldn't be able to see us immediately. We got